All right, guys, I just got done night diving in Indonesia, and I cannot believe what we just filmed tonight with the Bobbit Worm is mind-blowing. Total nightmare fuel, but super awesome at the same time. Check this out. You won't be sorry. We're starting our dive at dusk, and we'll be focused on the seabed in front of us. This is typically when the most interesting creatures are active. And right away, there's a lionfish. These fish are down here hunting right now, and those spines on its back are covered in a potent neurotoxin. They can cause excruciating pain and even paralysis in anything it touches. These waters are absolutely filled with them, as well as their cousin, the scorpionfish. So anytime I make contact with the ocean floor, I'll be checking to make sure that I don't land on anything I'm not supposed to. Now, I've seen a lot of bizarre and nightmarish looking creatures before. I've been bitten by bloodworms, burned by a fireworm, and even stung by the infamous Venomous. But nothing makes my skin crawl quite like the Bobbit Worm. These elusive predators have built up a serious reputation over the years and even inspired monsters in movies like the ones in Dune and Tremors, both featuring killer sandworms that live underground that burst through the desert sand with their powerful jaws to attack and kill their prey. Those worms are science fiction. The Bobbit Worm you are about to see feed in the night is very real. Now, at this point in the dive, I had no idea I was going to find any Bobbit worms, but these are the events as they unfolded, leading to that very moment. What we have here is a school of catfish. They use a very interesting schooling technique where they actually cascade over each other like a waterfall. They do this to take turns so they can stop and feed, but there's always another catfish to replace the front line. Grouping together like this helps ward off predators and makes the school of catfish appear like a much larger fish. All right, time to move on. Oh wow, look at that. I have never seen one of these nudibranch before. This one is actually called a bubble shell. It gets its name because of that shell right there at the center of its body. Now, these shells are different to the ones on a typical snail. They are thin, fragile, and too small to fit the entire animal inside. But it is absolutely stunning in coloration. Look at those bright blue edges. It almost glows out here in the darkness. Very cool. On night dives like this, you really never know what you're going to find. It's a very alien-like environment, and when you're out here in the muck, it almost appears like the lunar surface. And here is another really bizarre and unique creature. This is a cuttlefish. Related to the octopus, these sea creatures are super intelligent. In fact, some scientists believe they're more intelligent than their 8-armed cousins. Let's carefully swim up for a closer look. What's really unique about these creatures at first sight is how they change their coloration almost instantaneously. Oh, look at this, it's moving into hunt. Oh, it almost got that fish. That fish was so lucky. Oh. The cuttlefish is turning right toward me. Look at that coloration change. Now, some scientists believe not only did they change their coloration as a camouflage technique, but they can actually communicate through the change in color and pattern in their skin. I wonder if it's trying to tell me something. Clearly it knows that I'm no longer a threat. It's hanging out. Let me just put my hand out right. Guys, this is too cool. This cuttlefish is so comfortable with us that it's letting me almost use my hand as a perch. Now, make no mistake, these cuttlefish are super fast and it could swim away in a split second if it wanted to. and it's likely just as curious about me as I am about it. Holy cow. I'm almost at a loss for words. All right, let's grab our dive rig and keep adventuring into the night. Wow. That's a pair of moray eels. This is one of the animals that divers need to be especially careful around because they are super territorial and they also have razor sharp teeth. If you stick your hand in the wrong place down here, you can take a pretty aggressive chomp from one of these large eels. And the biggest problem is once they bite, they don't let go. They can even spin into a death roll similar to a crocodile. We're gonna leave those two alone and keep moving forward. Now that is a porcupine fish, and a super colorful one at that. A lot of the porcupine fish that I'm used to seeing are more brown and gray in coloration. This one is more of a reddish maroon. And oh, I found something so cool. Guys, check this out. This is a bobtail squid. I've always wanted to see one of these. Now these bobtail squid really look like a little octopus because of their super long tentacles. They're almost the in-between between a cuttlefish and an octopus. But these bobtail squid are also super intelligent and extremely charismatic. It's trying to bury itself beneath the sand to hide away from our cameras. I see you. Look at it using its little arms to cover itself with sand and sediment to try to blend in. You can still see its little siphon is uncovered there. Wow. Whoa. Look out for those. Those are scorpion fish, and they are venomous. Related to the stonefish, these scorpion fish have venomous spines on the dorsal and pectoral fins. And if you accidentally brush into them, they can give you a really nasty sting. I know all too well just how it feels because I once took a sting from the scorpion fish
and I've tested
myself.
the sting of a man-o-war. Ah, man, that one nailed me.
What is that? That's a bobbit worm. Oh my gosh. We gotta get in for a closer look. Those mandibles, look at those jaws, they are huge. If that's not a sci-fi monster, I don't know what is. And look at its skin. It's iridescent. It almost has a rainbow shimmer to it. And you could see its serrated jaws open and ready to clasp onto any would-be victim that crosses its path. And do you see those little antennae? Right by the jaws, those are sensory organs, sensing the chemicals and vibrations in the water so it can detect prey and launch out for an attack. And with a body length of up to 10 feet, there's a lot more to this worm than meets the eye. And using all that friction that it has from that long burrow, it possesses incredible strength and can take down large fish as prey in a split second. Let's see if we can get the bobbit worm to snap its jaws for the cameras. Whoa! Oh my goodness. Wow. Now not only are those jaws serrated, but the bristles along its body are actually venomous. And the bobbit worm uses them as a defense mechanism. So it's not just the jaws you have to worry about. Oh no! The little porcupine fish followed us over. It must be attracted to the dive lights. That porcupine fish is very lucky to have escaped the bobbit worm. But that was pretty interesting to see it use its defense mechanism to puff up like that and to be successful with it. Whew, that got my heart racing. Let's wait here for a second to see if this bobbit worm can find any other prey. Look who showed up. The scorpion fish is coming to take a look. I wonder if the scorpion fish thinks this bobbit worm could be food. It certainly is creeping in really slow. Let's hang here for a second to see what happens. I cannot believe what we just saw. I think we're going to need to see that one more time, but this time we're going to slow it down. You can really see how the bobbit worm inspired the movies Dune and Tremors. Look at the sand bubbling. I can only imagine what's happening down there below the surface. That might be the most disturbing thing I have ever seen on any dive I've ever been on. Wow. Woo! Look at that. And how many of you watching right now would love to be standing right here with me, appearing on the Brave Wilderness channel? Well, now it's your turn. For the first time ever, we're inviting anyone brave enough to join me and the crew on a real Brave Wilderness adventure starring you. Next year, we are leading groups at 2 of my favorite locations on the planet. Starting on the East Coast, we will explore majestic shorelines for intertidal wildlife at Acadia National Park. And then we'll head west to the desert mountains of Zion and search for a variety of interesting animals, including prehistoric relics from the past. Not an animal expert? Not a problem. There's gonna be something for everyone on these epic adventures. Over 3 unforgettable days, you'll also hike stunning trails, make lasting friendships, and learn the secrets of what it takes to make the world's most viral wildlife videos directly from me. Guys, space is super limited, so click the link in the description or follow this link here and be the first to find out how to snag a spot on one of these 2 adventures and see if you have what it takes to become brave. Oh, wants to bite me. I'm actually going to get chomped. Ready? 1, 2, 3. He's biting me. Oh, he's got me good. He's latched. He's latched. He won't let go. He won't let go. Oh, got one. Oh yeah. Woo, yeah. This, believe it or not, is one of the most famous creatures ever featured on the Brave Wilderness channel. That's right, the original Bloodworm video now has over 73 million views. But in that original adventure, we did leave a few things on the table that are definitely worth revisiting. Namely, the venomous bite of this creature. Actually, did Coyote take a bite?
Ow! Yay!
Did it bite you?
He got me!
I got that!
He got me, I felt it. It was a little pinch.
Let me see. Where'd he get you?
Right there, right in the crux of my finger.
I think we could do better than just a pinch for one of the world's only venomous worms. In fact, we learned something very important about this creature between the last adventure and today that's going to help us achieve a bite on camera. But before I go getting myself chomped for this new bloodworm experiment, we need to find a whole lot more worms than just this one. Let's keep digging. Bloodworms hunt for prey in the tidal mudflats of both the Atlantic and Pacific coasts of the United States and Canada. They have also earned the nickname sludge worm, since their habitat consists of thick mud and quicksand that can easily swallow your boots whole. To find these slimy predators, worm diggers use special rakes to quickly peel back mud and reveal worms on the move that could be sold as prize fishing bait. And while they can be difficult to find, some of the best worm diggers in Maine can collect up to 1,000 worms a day, with the largest ones growing up to 15 inches long. After hours of digging and covered head to toe in mud and sweat, we fill the bucket and set the stage for one of the worst bites we've ever filmed. Welcome to the Bloodworm bite table. What I have in front of me here are 5 very large bloodworms. No, these are not your granddad's night crawlers, folks. These are natural born killers. Armed with 4 venomous fangs and an appetite to match, we have been told that these worms pack one heck of a bite. Some people say that it's like a bee sting, and locals have even told us that they've seen worm diggers crawling out of the mudflats in near tears from being bitten by these carnivorous worms. But there is one key piece of information that we learned from the original Bloodworm video to today, and that is you can actually head a bloodworm. Similar to how a herpetologist would head a venomous snake to keep it from biting them, I will actually attempt to grab the proboscis once it shoots out and then intentionally inflict my first bite. And yes, I said first bite. There's gonna be more than one. Now what I'm going to try to do is head the proboscis, and while I'm attempting to do this, let's review some of the most interesting facts about this bizarre marine oddity. The bloodworm is a venomous segmented worm that hunts invertebrates and other marine creatures. Armed with 4 razor-sharp fangs and a projectile mouth called a proboscis,
They are voracious predators and are as aggressive as they are bizarre. One of the most shocking things about these worms is how normal they can appear and then in a split second transform into one of the most alien-looking life forms you've ever seen. And as if this wasn't creepy enough, things get even worse. Once the bloodworm has its prey ensnared in those hooked jaws, it will inject it with a paralyzing venom that incapacitates the victim so it can be digested and eaten alive. This venom is chemically similar to that of a scorpion and is known to cause severe reactions in humans, including burning, tissue damage, and anaphylactic shock. Please do not attempt what you're about to see.
Oh, almost got it. Ah, I missed it. Oh, come on. All right. I've got it. Oh, wants to bite me. That is the proboscis of one of the biggest bloodworms I have ever seen. Holy moly. That's over a foot for sure. Okay, time to get bitten by one of the only venomous worms on the planet, the bloodworm. Got a good hold on it. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Ah! Yeah, oh, God, he's on me. Oh, look at that. Ah, he won't let go. Ah, he won't let go. Oh. Ah. Oh, he's in. Oh, he's really on there, guys. I can't get him off. He's biting me. Oh, he's got me good. Yeah, he got me. Ah, man, it didn't break the skin. It was definitely latched into me, but its fangs I don't think are long enough to break the skin of my finger. I wonder if I try on a softer part. Let's try my wrist. It's a little bit thinner there, a little bit softer. All right, here we go. Let's go in for the second bite on 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah. Oh, yep. See him tug on the skin? Ah, he's latched. He's latched. Ah, yeah. Oh, I can't get him off. Yeah, he's got me. You see that? Ah, keep rolling, keep rolling. I'm gonna try to pry him off. He's really latched on. Come on, let go, let go. Ah, he won't let go. Oh, he won't let go. Gotta get him off. Ah. Oh. Oh yeah. That was a full-on bloodworm bite. Boy, that burns. Gosh, you get that shot?
Got
Those
it.
fangs were all the way latched in. Oh. Oh, that burns. Ooh, man, yes. You can see that there wasn't much blood produced from the bite, but I've got blisters forming, and that's likely due to all the inflammation and swelling. I feel it in the nervous system. My wrist is screaming right now. Super painful burning sensation, a lot like a wasp or a bee sting. Those fangs are like little talons, and it just grabbed right through the skin and did not want to let go. They were like barbs on a fishing hook. They were just in there. And really, I wasn't able to get the worm off until it decided to relax a little bit and I pried it back. But those fangs are definitely sharp enough. Yikes, that hurt. Now that we've witnessed what a single bloodworm is capable of, let's see what happens when I submerge my hands in over 100 of them. Do bloodworms hunt in packs? We're about to find out. Before I attempt to feed my hands to these four-fanged terrors, let's take a look at what they did to some normal prey from the wild. While related and very similar looking to bloodworms, the sandworm is not nearly as formidable. And after a short time in a small aquarium, we can see they are also very much their food. The venomous bloodworms attacked and broke down the sandworms quickly, and what you're seeing now are signs of both chewing and dismemberment, a clear sign of active predation. If you thought one bloodworm bite was bad, check this out. Whoa! Look at all these worms. That is a container filled with over 100 bloodworms in this tank. and I'm going to attempt to submerge my hands into this tank of bloodworms for 2 minutes. All enough to figure out, do bloodworms hunt in packs? Ready? On 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, that feels so weird. Ah, I just took my first bite. Hit me on the pinky. It was a bite and release. Oh, I could feel them. Yeah, I could feel more proboscis going. It's like you could feel them tense up and then poof, it fires out. The anticipation is killing me. If you could see them wriggling, they have their little sensory tips, sensing their environment for anything that they can eat or get those jaws on. Oh, I could see a lot of them are shooting their proboscis out already. They sense something foreign in their environment. I gotta look away. This is like too much anxiety just looking at this container. This has gotta be the creepiest thing I have ever done in my entire life. Just so disgusting, feeling all those worms wriggling around my fingers. One thing that we noticed earlier is that as soon as one of them fires their proboscis, it seems to create a rapid fire effect. They all do it at the same time.
They're going crazy.
They are. Feel them wriggling around my fingers. Oh man, oh yeah. Got another one. Oh my goodness, so creepy. All right, how much time left?
30 seconds left.
All right, this has gotta be the longest 2 minutes of my life. 2 minutes feels like an eternity. The bloodworm bite tank. Oh, this is horrible. Give me a countdown.
5.
Got me again.
3.
That's 3.
2. 1.
Definitely got nailed on the pinky on this side. And I got 2 nips between my fingers, here and here. Definitely got nipped 3 times. Wow, that was weird. What a crazy day on the Brave Wilderness channel. Well, I don't know if we can definitively say that bloodworms like to hunt in packs, but I'll tell you this. They sure don't mind sharing a meal, but man, that original bite, that was a serious, serious chomp from a bloodworm. It is absolutely swollen and very tender to the touch. I have a feeling I'm gonna be in pain for quite a while on that one.
And I was absolutely correct. The bite of a bloodworm was no joke and ended up becoming one of the most painful experiences I've endured so far. Overnight, the swelling increased dramatically, and the burning around the bite spread through my hand and up my arm, nearly locking my wrist. Then, days after the initial pain subsided, I had a secondary reaction, where the bite zone flared up with an aggressive rash and itched at least twice as much as poison ivy. In all, it took 3 weeks to heal from the bloodworm venom, and I'm here to officially say the scary rumors of bloodworms are 100% true. So while these creatures are an important part of the intertidal ecosystem and a valued resource for fishing towns across Maine, you absolutely want to avoid their bite at all costs. Ouch! Exclamation point.
Woo! Look at that. And how many of you watching right now would love to be standing right here with me, appearing on the Brave Wilderness channel? Well, now it's your turn. For the first time ever, we're inviting anyone brave enough to join me and the crew on a real Brave Wilderness adventure starring you. Next year, we are leading groups at 2 of my favorite locations on the planet. Starting on the East Coast, we will explore majestic shorelines for intertidal wildlife at Acadia National Park. And then we'll head west to the desert mountains of Zion and search for a variety of interesting animals, including prehistoric relics from the past. Not an animal expert? Not a problem. There's gonna be something for everyone on these epic adventures. Over 3 unforgettable days, you'll also hike stunning trails, make lasting friendships, and learn the secrets of what it takes to make the world's most viral wildlife videos directly from me. Guys, space is super limited, so click the link in the description or follow this link here and be the first to find out how to snag a spot on one of these 2 adventures and see if you have what it takes to become brave.
All
All right, guys, in this video, I'm going to take on the sting of the fireworm so I can officially rate it on the Brave Wilderness Bite Sting Index. Now, the sting from this venomous worm is horrible. We're talking searing pain, massive swelling, and even long-term skin damage. So for me, this is gonna be a really bad day. But before I can go through this test, I first have to catch one. And the only way to do that is to get out in the water. We're diving today just off a public beach near Miami, Florida. And if you can believe it, the waters just off these beaches are swarming with fireworms. Fireworms can grow up to a foot in length and are covered in thousands of venom-laced bristles, which has earned them the reputation of being one of the worst stings in the entire ocean. And unfortunately for me, I'm going to experience this firsthand. That is, if I'm able to find one. I'm seeing something in the rocks just ahead. Oh, check that out. Our first spot of the day. That is a moray eel. Moray eels are incredibly territorial and can be aggressive toward divers. So if I want to keep all my fingers, I better also keep my distance. Now these reefs are a promising environment, but still no fireworm. There is a ton of light down here, however, so I have a feeling it's just a matter of time. I think we need to dive deeper. All right, yes, this is looking perfect. What we're looking at here in front of us is a muck bottom environment, which the fireworms love. And you see that orange sponge? That's a fantastic sign. I've seen fireworms covering these sponges many dives before. Okay, I'm seeing something wormy just up ahead. Oh yeah, there it is. The first fireworm of the day, and a decent sized one too. Whoa, did you see that? The fireworm is flaring out its spines in self-defense, which is gonna make them even more tricky to catch. Even with these gloves on, this is a very dangerous operation that should never be attempted. Please never do this. Taking a sting from a fireworm underwater could easily put you in a life-threatening situation. We have a bit more time left in our tank. Let's see if we can find a few more. Wow, almost immediately we've got another one. Once you find the fireworms, they are nearly everywhere you look. Let's see just how many we can get. Now, for anyone wondering, rest assured, we will be returning all of these fireworms right back where I found them at the end of this video. Wow, that one is an absolute monster. I'm not even sure it's going to fit in this container. Let's try. All right, well, I think we found today's co-star. It's time to take our worms to the surface and for me to face the flame of the fireworm. Since it's important that I return the worms back to the water as quickly as possible, there was no time to waste. So I ditched my scuba gear and got right to setting up for the sting test. The sting table is set. I'm gonna get out a few things that we're gonna be using for today's experiment with the fireworm. I've got a Petri dish we're gonna place them in, some clear Gorilla Tape. You might be asking, Mark, what are you gonna do with that? You'll see in just a few minutes. I've got some white vinegar. Gonna need that for the afterburn. And then of course, this is for me. Just a little hydration out here on the beach. I never leave home without my Summit Adventure Fuel. Now I'm gonna keep the rest of the worms covered. We don't need all the worms we found. Of course, we found a lot of worms. There were hundreds of fireworms at this site. The last one that we found, I even had a hard time fitting it inside the jar that I took with me. So I think that's the one we're gonna use for the experiment, because I am curious, does size matter when it comes to the sting of a fireworm? I think today we'll find out. Let's get some seawater in our Petri dish. Nice, clean, and cold. Now time to get out the fireworm. Whoa. Oh yeah. All right, here's second worm going in. Get some of these spines out of there. Check that out. So as you can see, these worms are absolutely covered in thousands of these very small but very sharp venomous spines. Now these spines are constantly growing. So you'll see there's some of them floating around, and it really does look like fiberglass. When you look at it under a microscope, you could see just how sharp the points of the spines really are. So really just even a subtle brush
into one of these creatures is gonna land you in a world of pain, right where I'm about to be here in just a few more minutes. But you can also see that red coloration is where they get their name, the fireworm, because they look like they're on fire and they certainly feel like it when they touch your skin. Now, a lot of people do come into contact with these worms, namely scuba divers and snorkelers, but you do need to be careful if you're out here swimming. If you're walking along and you feel rocks below your feet, there's a good chance that could be the home of a fireworm. If you step on one of these, it's gonna light you up. Wow, and there we go. Come in tight, let's see that right there. That, to me, is the most impressive thing about the fireworm, besides what the venom can do, is this amazing flaring defense. They can just splay and spread out all of those spines so they can encase their entire body. All of that middle bit there, it's no different than your average worm. In fact, when I squeeze it with these tweezers, they're super soft, they're squishy. And if they weren't covered in these amazingly painful spikes, they would be easy pickings for anything that lives out there in the ocean. So now you've heard me mention more than a few times that these worms are venomous. So while yes, those spines will jam into your flesh like a cactus, they release a toxin. There's a mucus that these worms are coating those spines in, much like a lionfish or a stonefish. And when that toxin gets into the skin, it's gonna cause instant searing pain. And that pain will continue to cycle through as long as those spines are lodged in my skin. And then after that, I'm gonna inevitably deal with tremendous swelling and probably some scarring. This is one of the stings that it's gonna leave lasting damage. Luckily for me, I get stung a lot in this area for the bite sting index, so it's just gonna be one of many scars. It's time to take a sting from this very bizarre marine creature so I can officially rate it on the Brave Wilderness Bite Sting Index. And this is one of the animals that I have been really curious to rate since we invented the Bite Sting Index for Brave Wilderness, where we rate the sting or bite of an animal in 3 different factors: intimidation, pain, and aftermath. And for this worm, the aftermath is what you're definitely going to want to stick around for, because not only will you see just how bad the burn from a fireworm can be, but I'm gonna show you what to do if you are ever stung by one of these venomous creatures. I know how bad this is gonna be. Time to find out. What does the burn of the fireworm do to human flesh? On 3, ready? 1, 2, 3. Come on, I didn't get me good enough. One more time. Here we go. Puff up. 1, 2, 3. Ah, yeah, that burns. Ah! No! Oh, it's so. Ah! Woo! Oh, do you see all those spines? Oh my gosh! Ah! Ah! Oh, you can already see it's turning red. Oh, I got stung really bad. That's so many spines. Hundreds. I got stung by hundreds. Ah! Oh, it's so bad. Ah! Ah! Okay. Ah! Ah! Oh gosh.
Mark, you okay?
Oh, it's bad, dude. It's really bad. Hold on. Ah! Ah! Oh! Ah! 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 Oh my gosh, it's so much worse than the first time. I've been stung by these before, but never one that big. I have so many spines in my arm right now. Oh my goodness. Oh, this is gonna be my worst sting ever. This is gonna be my worst sting. Ah! Ah! I gotta let it dry. Because once it dries, I can use this tape to remove the spines. Anything that's like super adhesive. If you don't have duct tape, Find something sticky. Just like get that stuff out of there. You need to get those spines out of your skin because right now I can just feel the venom just like lava flowing over top of itself. It's just as bad as a bullet ant. It's just as bad as a bullet ant. It could be worse. Ha! Don't blow on it. Makes it worse. Oh, come on. Dry. All right, I'm gonna walk it off. Hang on, guys. I'm just gonna walk around for a second. Okay, it's dry. All right, I'm taking all I can take. I gotta get these out. All right, piece of tape like that. Any tape will do, but I got this so you can see just how many spines I'm gonna get out. I'm gonna try to do this in one swoop. Here we go. You wanna cover the entire area. Oh, wow. I didn't get a moment to go again, but look at that. Look at how many spines are in there. Come on. Ow! Ah. Okay, holy mackerel. Look at those welts coming in. You see that? Oh my gosh, and they don't even look that bad compared to how it feels. Instantly better as soon as you remove the spines. It really makes a big difference. The next thing you want to do, white vinegar. It's gonna help neutralize the burns. Oh yeah. Whatever toxin is left on top of my skin, this vinegar is going to neutralize it. Heavy duty tape, white vinegar. If you don't have it with you, get it as fast as you can because the faster you can get those spines out of your skin, the sooner you're gonna be on the road to recovery. But I can tell you the road to recovery for this sting is long. And you can see how much the welts are rising. Tomorrow, this is gonna be nasty. Now comes the hard part, the healing process, the aftermath. And the pain score, gonna be high. Intimidation, I'm gonna have to think about that. Aftermath, I'm gonna have a long time to think about that because the aftermath of this worm is gonna last for weeks. But you don't have to wait weeks. Let's get into it right now and officially rate the Fireworm on the Brave Wilderness Bite Sting Index.
On intimidation, the Fireworm looks intense. The bright red skin combined with thousands of spines remind me of a venomous snake. Plus, having taken a sting before, I know just how easily those spines can get stuck in your skin. And when you see a big one underwater, they are majorly intimidating. So for that, I give it a 7.8 out of 10. For pain, once those spines dug in and started to dose me with venom, the burn was intense. The feeling was similar to being burned and electrocuted over and over again. And unlike my first sting, I got completely nailed this time with at least 5 times the amount of bristles. Needless to say, it hurt badly, and for that, I give it a 9.5 out of 10. The aftermath of the Fireworm is where it scores some serious points. Its burn just kept going and going, day after day and week after week, and the rash would come back with a vengeance, leaving behind these intense itching, pustules, and swelling. Anytime I would get active or start to sweat, the pain would come rushing back, and to this day, there is still some scarring left behind from the burn of this Fireworm. So for this, I give the aftermath score a whopping 9.6 out of 10. All combined, the Fireworm ranks at a 9 on the Brave Wilderness BSI, which is a major score for a majorly painful creature.
Woo! Look at that. And how many of you watching right now would love to be standing right here with me, appearing on the Brave Wilderness channel? Well, now it's your turn. For the first time ever, we're inviting anyone brave enough to join me and the crew on a real Brave Wilderness adventure starring you. Next year, we are leading groups at 2 of my favorite locations on the planet. Starting on the East Coast, we will explore majestic shorelines for intertidal wildlife at Acadia National Park. And then we'll head west to the desert mountains of Zion and search for a variety of interesting animals, including prehistoric relics from the past. Not an animal expert? Not a problem. There's gonna be something for everyone on these epic adventures. Over 3 unforgettable days, you'll also hike stunning trails, make lasting friendships,
and learn the secrets of what it takes to make the world's most viral wildlife videos directly from me. Guys, space is super limited, so click the link in the description or follow this link here and be the first to find out how to snag a spot on one of these 2 adventures and see if you have what it takes to become brave. I'm about to enter the bite zone with the venomous bloodworm on 3. 1, 2, 3. Ah! What's going on, guys? I am back in the state of Maine to officially test the bite of the venomous bloodworm. In order to do this justice, we are going to try to find a monster worm. And to do that, I've enlisted the help of legendary bloodworm hunter, Wayne Bishko. Wayne, is this where we find the monster worms?
This is it.
All right, man, let's get digging.
Let's go.
Bloodworms live and hunt deep in the mudflats of Maine, where they can only be dug up during extreme low tides. We've enlisted Wayne's help because he's a professional bloodworm digger with over 30 years of experience. You see, out here, bloodworms are prized fishing bait and vital to the livelihood of many coastal Mainers. So if anyone knows where to find the truly giant bloodworms out here, it's Wayne. This one's not too bad.
No, it's not bad at all.
Is it gonna get deeper?
It is.
It's hard out here, guys. This is work. How's Asa? Asa, you all right?
Yeah, these things are really sticking.
Walk on the balls of your feet, bud. You want to be able to twist your heel. When you take it out, it breaks the suction, and basically, you just twist. Yeah, just
Little
twist.
wiggle. Walk and wiggle, guys, like a worm. As you can see, it's very slow moving in the mud, so we're gonna have to find our bloodworms fast once we get out there. High tide is moving in quickly, and this whole area we're digging in will be 10 feet underwater in less than an hour.
All right, let's get at it.
All right, so this is it?
This
It's
is
going
it.
right in.
I'm getting at it.
Okay.
Cause see, right here. Check
You
this
already
out.
got one?
Check this out. Look.
Oh, wow, that's a big one.
Check that out, man. Look at that. Look at the head on that.
All right, let's put it in the bucket.
Yes, sir.
All right, awesome. Now I gotta find one. We're trying to dig as many monster-sized bloodworms as we can while the tide is still low. And then we'll pick the largest one, the true monster bloodworm, for the bite test. Oh, bloodworm. Got my first one.
That's a beauty.
Look at that, got one. Haha,
That
first
is
bloodworm
a
of the day.
beauty.
Keep working. All right, here's a sandworm. Here's a really good sandworm, too. Amongst other things, these sandworms are food. It's what the bloodworms are eating out here in the mudflats. So you see the difference. The sandworm has much longer parapodia. Those are the little bristles, the swimming appendages on the side of the worm, than the bloodworm. And you can see that the difference in color is pretty substantial. Now, sandworms have a nasty bite as well, 2 fangs, but they're not venomous. Lots of different creatures and creepy crawlies out here on the mudflats. Since we've been digging, Wayne's found like 3 bloodworms. I found 1. I need to get to work. Oh, I got one. I got a huge one. Wow. Oh my gosh, this is the biggest bloodworm I've ever caught. Look at the size of that bloodworm, guys. Huge. Yes. So Wayne, you think the bigger the worm, the bigger the bite?
I think the bigger the worm, the bigger the bite.
All
No
right.
question.
All right, let's dig up a big one, guys. That's what we came for. Oh yeah.
Look at that right there.
Whoa, that's a monster. That is a huge bloodworm, Wayne. That's a contender. Let's put that in the bucket.
Yes.
Oh, there we go. Right there. Now, these are venomous creatures. They do bite, and they bite without warning. Now, one of the ways people are often bit is when they're picking them up from the mud, because they will actually shoot their mouth part out, their proboscis, in order to dig. Watch this. Whoa. You see that? So not only does it use that projectile mouth, that proboscis, to grapple its prey and consume the other worms that live in this environment, it actually uses that proboscis to bore tunnels so it can bury itself down in the mud. See the hole it makes? Pretty darn cool. Oh, what is this? Look at that. Holy smokes. Well, this is a milky ribbon worm. This is a huge milky ribbon worm. Okay, so here, let's take a look at this real quick. Guys, this is a milky ribbon worm. And look how long this worm is. That's definitely over a foot. These worms can grow over 4 feet in length, believe it or not.
I got one right here.
Oh my gosh.
Check that out.
Wayne, can you bring that over here?
I sure can.
Wow. Okay, yours is a lot bigger than mine, Wayne. I'm gonna put my milky ribbon worm down. Let's clean this off. I wanna show you guys. Oh, look at that.
That's it.
Its proboscis came out. Look at that.
That is so cool. Watch it, watch it, watch it. Watch it on your hand. It's gonna crawl all over.
Oh, wow. It is a different world out here on the mud flat. All right, let's put this milky worm back and keep looking for bloodworms. This is definitely big worm country. Tide's coming in. You see all that water, guys? We gotta keep digging. Oh, that was a big one. That's a huge one. Come on, come out. Ugh. Yes! That is a monster.
It sure is.
Wayne, this is easily the biggest bloodworm I have ever seen. And we have found our contender. And now it's time to set up the bite table and officially rank the bite of the venomous bloodworm. Let's do it. Here we are, back at the bite table. Let's take a closer look at these venomous predators. Wayne, you got our worms?
I sure do, right here.
Oh man, that's a full bucket. Look at all these worms. Oh my goodness. Let's take a few out and get a closer look. Wow, look at that. These are all jumbos. Now these are the only marine worms on the planet that can deliver a venomous bite, but it is not the only venomous worm on the planet. In fact, I've already ranked another species of venomous worm, the bearded fireworm, on the bite sting index. Ah, yeah, that burns. And it rated as a 9. In fact, even to this day, I still have scars left over from the fireworm, so I'm curious, can the bloodworm's venomous bite stack up to that venomous sting from the fireworm? Well, today we're officially going to find out. Now let's talk about how it delivers the venom. It is a complex venom, much like snake venom, that they use to incapacitate or paralyze their prey. Once they latch in with those jaws, they inject the venom, stun their prey, so then they can easily eat it whole. And the proboscis, the mouth part, is actually on the inside of the worm, and when it shoots it out of its mouth, it's almost flipping its stomach inside out. And at the end of the proboscis, there are 4 hooked fangs. In addition to delivering venom, those 4 teeth are like grappling hooks, and that's exactly what I want to show you right now. If we can get one to fire off its proboscis, I will attempt to head it, and I will show you a very up-close shot of those 4 hooked fangs. Now, Wayne, I'm gonna give you all the credit for this because until I saw Wayne do this in one of his videos, I had no idea heading a bloodworm was even possible. How did you figure this out?
Just over time. I mean, you see them come out and it's kind of like you've only got that split second. They're so quick, you've got to get behind that base of the head, and to be able to really get a good shot of them, you've really got to be quick, because they are.
These bloodworms are capable of firing off a bite, but in order to do today's bite test, I'm gonna intentionally put those painful grappling hooks into my arm. So let's just watch here. As soon as I see a proboscis fire out, I'm gonna grab it. Oh, got it. Got one. That's a big one too, look at this. Now if I just hold it, it's going to readjust and show us those fangs. I gotta be careful to not get bitten right now. This is an easy way to take a bite. I do not recommend anybody do this at home. If you ever find bloodworms, this is not the safest way to handle one. All right, there you go. See those jaws? Look at that. That is the inside of the bloodworm's mouth, and you can see there are 4 grappling hook reversed fangs at each corner of the mouth. And not only are those fangs used to pierce the skin and inject venom, but they're grappling hooks. They actually use it to clinch onto their prey and suck it into their mouth and inside the gullet of their body. When it comes to bizarre creatures, it's hard to think of one more bizarre than the bloodworm. Now, I think it's time to pick out the bloodworm that's going to deliver the infamous bite for this video. And to do that, we are going to go for the biggest one possible. All right, I'm gonna grab all the giant bloodworms out of the bucket, and then Wayne will help me pick the biggest of the bunch for the bite. Oh man. Didn't come all the way to Maine to do a bite test with a little bloodworm. No, that one's not gonna cut it. Nope. Small. Small. That one's good. All right, I think we got some contenders here. Wayne, I'm gonna need your help on this one.
Okay.
Let's start eliminating. Like, do you see any in here that look undersized to you? This one looks a little small.
One's a little small.
All right, we'll put this one back.
Yeah. Boy, look at the girth on that one and this one. Look at that thing there.
Oh my gosh.
That thing there is huge.
That's a contender.
It sure is. No,
All right, put that one back.
I'm gonna say this, or this. Let's move these other ones out.
Okay, so these down to these 3.
Yep, down to those 3.
Okay.
Boy, I'll tell you, that one there looks like a nice worm.
Okay.
That really does.
All right. Wayne, this is the one.
That's the one.
This is the beast. These are not small worms either. They're all
They're all big, but we're gonna go with the professional on this one. Wayne, I think you picked out a winner, man. Look at the size of this worm. Oh my goodness. I mean, guys, this worm is well over 1.5 feet in length when it's all extended out. But look at how thick it is. And you can really see why they call them bloodworms with this. Look at that. You can see all that dark, oozy blood inside the belly of the worm. And you can see it actually if I go like this. Slides up and down, giving them the name bloodworm. But look at that. Look at how huge it is. Oh boy, this is gonna hurt. All right, now we just need to sit here and wait for this bloodworm to shoot its proboscis out. I will head it and then intentionally let it grapple onto my forearm. And once it hooks in, it's not gonna wanna let go. I think getting it to bite is one thing, getting it off is another challenge. And of course, like always, we're gonna rate this bite test for the BSI, the Bite Sting Index, on 3 different factors: intimidation, pain, and aftermath. And I can tell you right now, the aftermath of this bite is gonna be a doozy. All right, now the bite from these bloodworms are, oh, got it. Oh yeah, woo! Talk about a waiting game. All right, here we go, guys, this is it. Oh, this is gonna be gnarly. I'm Mark Benz, and I'm about to enter the bite zone with the venomous bloodworm on 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Oh, look at all those bite marks. Yeah. Must be like 12 bite marks. Wow. Oh my gosh, it's latched. Latched on. Oh my gosh, I can feel the venom. I can't get it off. All right, I'm gonna put the worm back. Oh my gosh. It feels like 4 bee stings at once. Each fang I could feel popping through the skin. Oh yeah. And that is gonna swell up, guys. Wait till you see this. See all the redness there? Starting to come through? And that's all my blood. That is not from the bloodworm, that's from me. That's from the fangs going into my skin. It definitely has some kind of anticoagulant in the blood that just with the slightest graze of those fangs, it makes you bleed like instantly. Oh my gosh. Oh.
Were you okay?
Oh, it's gonna be burning for a while. That is a serious bite from a serious marine predator, the bloodworms of Maine. And now it's time to officially rate this venomous marine worm on the Brave Wilderness Bite Sting Index. Run it. Whew. On intimidation, these bloodworms have an ultra high creep factor. They're like an alien from another planet, and watching those hooked fangs move around, knowing they're designed to latch into flesh, sets my nerves on fire. And for that, I rank them an 8.5 out of 10. Now, pain is where the bloodworm truly earns its score on the BSI. Those hooked jaws bit me over and over again, allowing more and more super painful venom to enter my body. Each fang was painful on its own, so getting bitten by all 4 at once, wow, yeah, that hurt. And then the pain for the venom was red hot and caused immediate redness and swelling all around the bite zone. So for all this, I give the pain a 9 out of 10. Now for aftermath, the bite of the bloodworm swelled and itched terribly for over 72 hours after I was bitten. 5 days later, it had essentially healed with no sign that it ever happened in the first place. By comparison, the aftermath of the fireworm sting lasted for months and racked up one of the worst aftermath scores on the BSI to date. The bloodworm, however, still gets a respectable 8 out of 10 for aftermath. Altogether, the bloodworm ranks at an 8.5 out of 10 on the Brave Wilderness Bite Sting Index, climbing high on the all-time rankings, but falling just short of the ferocious fireworm. Whew, look at that. And how many of you watching right now would love to be standing right here with me, appearing on the Brave Wilderness channel? Well, now it's your turn.
For the first time ever, we're inviting anyone brave enough to join me and the crew on a real Brave Wilderness adventure starring you. Next year, we are leading groups at 2 of my favorite locations on the planet. Starting on the East Coast, we will explore majestic shorelines for intertidal wildlife at Acadia National Park. And then we'll head west to the desert mountains of Zion and search for a variety of interesting animals, including prehistoric relics from the past. Not an animal expert? Not a problem. There's gonna be something for everyone on these epic adventures. Over 3 unforgettable days, you'll also hike stunning trails, make lasting friendships, and learn the secrets of what it takes to make the world's most viral wildlife videos directly from me. Guys, space is super limited, so click the link in the description or follow this link here and be the first to find out how to snag a spot on one of these 2 adventures and see if you have what it takes to become brave. I'm Mark Benz, and I'm about to enter the sting zone with a big blue bee. On 3, ready? 1, 2, 3.
Minutes after filming the sting of the largest bee I've ever gone up against, I noticed something even more striking buzzing around the brush.
There's a bee. There's a bee.
Got him! Got him! Yes! It's a blue one!
You gotta see this, oh my goodness.
Oh yeah, look at that. It's blue. Holy cow.
I think it's now turned from a sting test to a sting comparison. Just a few minutes ago, I was stung by a big black carpenter bee, which walloped me. But I didn't know they came in blue. What's your bet? Black or blue?
In this video, we're going to find out which of these giant bees has the more painful sting and which of them will rate higher on the Brave Wilderness Bite Sting Index.
And we're back. We have 1 black carpenter bee and 1 blue carpenter bee, the new contender. I was stung by this black carpenter bee. A broad-handed bee is another name for it. Right there, yesterday, this bee is ticked and it is going to sting the heck out of me. 1, 2, 3. Oh, wow, yeah, wow. Oh, I want to get away. All right, let's get this bee. You see the venom coming out of that hole? Oh, yeah, big bee got me. Big bee got me. And you can see in 24 hours, the swelling has expanded to cover nearly my entire forearm. You can see all that inflammation right there. Check this out, it even jiggles. Cool. But of course, as we were wrapping up yesterday, packing up all the gear, starting to film the aftermath scenes for the BSI rating of the broad-handed black carpenter bee, this new contender entered the picture. We have unlocked a new character, a blue carpenter bee. I have never seen a bee with a blue coat before. And it's not kind of blue, guys. Let's get a tight shot of this. It is really blue. We're talking sky blue coat all over the back of the bee, around the face, on the front legs, and it even has a blue iridescent shine to the wings. So, seeing that this bee is ultra colorful and aposematic, blue is a warning color, I'm thinking to myself, gosh, that black carpenter bee really packed a punch. But maybe, just maybe, the blue carpenter bee is even worse. In my mind, the bigger the bee, the bigger the sting. However, we know from all the sting tests we've done, size isn't the only factor. The potency of the venom means a lot.
For example, let's take a quick look back at this small but ultra painful cow killer.
On 3, 1, 2, 3. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Yeah. Holy moly. Yeah, that's one of the better ones I've taken. It is, I can already tell you right now, the swelling from this tomorrow is going to be so much worse than it is right now. And the pain
the power of the venom in this bee is fresh in my mind. So does the black carpenter bee, being a bigger bee, have a more powerful sting? Or will the real BSI champ be this beautiful blue carpenter bee? There's only one way to find out, and we came a long way to get here in Borneo. So if there's ever a time for a sting off between the black and the blue carpenter bee, this is it. And with that, I think it's time to enter the sting zone once more. What do you guys say?
It's time, Mark.
Okay, let's put the black carpenter bee aside for now and really focus in on today's new entrant to the Brave Wilderness Bite Sting Index. Now, I will be grading this sting, as always, on 3 factors: intimidation, pain, aftermath. Intimidation, it's a lot smaller than the broad-handed bee from yesterday, but the pain, that's what I'm interested in. That coloration could be a warning sign, could be a signal that this bee's venom is way worse than the broad-handed bee. But they're called carpenter bees because of how they reproduce. When a female bee wants to lay an egg, she will bore into wood. They'll leave one egg behind with a ball of pollen. They are pollinators. And then that larva will hatch from the egg, eat the pollen, emerge as a bee, and the cycle continues again. But for me, the takeaway is that these bees have jaws strong enough to saw through wood. And if it bites me, I'm in for a world of hurt. The aftermath, of course, we won't know for at least a day because we've seen what this can do in a day. And I am running out of canvas. I'm gonna address that real quick. Typically, for a comparison, I like to do the opposite arm or maybe another spot on the arm. This forearm is completely cooked. This forearm, I just got stung by a really strange insect earlier today, and it's wreaking havoc on me already. I've already got a big goose egg here, so I don't want to mess with that experiment. So I think the only blank canvas that I have to offer for the blue carpenter bee is a little further up my sleeve. So I'm gonna take a sting right here.
Mark, you look like Mama.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm gonna need a vacation after this trip, guys. I am getting nailed. All right. Okay. This is not gonna be good. All right, here we go. I'm gonna really try not to lose this bee. This is the only blue carpenter bee we've seen all week long. This is a rare one. All right, I'm gonna keep the net on standby. You guys ready?
We're ready, Mark.
Here we go. Oh, it woke up. Okay. Got it. Just so you guys know, I'm not hurting the bee at all by doing this. It is super tough. Oh man, see that stinger fishing already? Okay. I'm gonna have to do this quick. This bee is super slippery. That blue coat is so slippy. Okay, we got it. All right, here we go. I'm Mark Vins, and I'm about to enter the sting zone with a big blue bee on 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Ah, bite me. Ah, yeah, oh, it got me. Oh, ah, ah, hang on, ah, it's biting me. He's in there, he's on. Oh, yeah, ah, yeah, oh. Ooh. Oh man. All right, someone get the net. Someone get the net. Cover him. Oh, yeah, that stings. Get back in the container. Oh, come on, come on. Oh, it stings. God. Oh, yeah. She's a biter. She's a biter. And she stings. That didn't happen yesterday. Took 2 really good stings, multiple bites. Oh, gotta hang. You okay, Mark? Ah, dude. Oh, that was so much worse on this bite and the sting than yesterday. Like,
Worse than the black bee?
I mean, she bit the heck out of me. She bit me so hard I'm bleeding. Ah, those bees can chew through wood. She had no problem popping through my skin. Look at that, guys. I'm surprised I'm not bleeding more for how bad that hurt. Oh. Okay. Okay. You get the shot?
You got it.
Okay. I don't want to do that again. I think I'm done with carpenter bees. My arm is like, what the heck? What is going on? What are you thinking? Oh man, the venom's starting to set in too. Let's see. Stings are down below. All right, let's roll into it. Where does the big blue bee rank next to the black carpenter bee here in Borneo? Let's roll the ratings. Here we go. On intimidation, the blue bee was a bit less intimidating than its larger cousin, the black broad-handed bee. Seeing them side by side and their stingers both on the table beforehand, certainly the black bee was a lot more formidable. However, the blue bee still gets a respectable score of a 7.2 out of 10 because that vivid blue color all over its body, which in nature can be used as a warning sign of high venom potency. For pain, the blue bee delivered with a huge dose of it right to my arm. It bit and stung me multiple times and would refuse to let go even when I tried to pull it off. The pain caused by its venom wasn't as distinct as the black bee, but the bite certainly made up for it. For that, I give it a 7.8 out of 10. And for the aftermath, the blue bee left behind a cluster of bite and sting sites on my arm. The bites all healed like an ordinary wound, but the venom made things much more uncomfortable. As it healed, it was joined by an unusually intense itch, which made the bite wounds hard to leave alone. However, the swelling and redness left behind was much less than that of the black bee, so the blue bee only earns an 8.1 out of 10. Altogether, this big blue bee ranks as a 7.7 out of 10 on the Brave Wilderness BSI, falling short of the black bee overall and sliding in just below the bite of the assassin bug. Woo! Look at that. And how many of you watching right now would love to be standing right here with me, appearing on the Brave Wilderness channel? Well, now it's your turn. For the first time ever, we're inviting anyone brave enough to join me and the crew on a real Brave Wilderness adventure starring you. Next year, we are leading groups at 2 of my favorite locations on the planet. Starting on the East Coast, we will explore majestic shorelines for intertidal wildlife at Acadia National Park. And then we'll head west to the desert mountains of Zion and search for a variety of interesting animals, including prehistoric relics from the past. Not an animal expert? Not a problem. There's gonna be something for everyone on these epic adventures. Over 3 unforgettable days, you'll also hike stunning trails, make lasting friendships, and learn the secrets of what it takes to make the world's most viral wildlife videos directly from me. Guys, space is super limited, so click the link in the description or follow this link here and be the first to find out how to snag a spot on one of these 2 adventures and see if you have what it takes to become brave.
What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another Blue Wilderness adventure here on the edge of the Caribbean Sea at night. Now, we're at Grand Cayman Island, and we did come here to swim with stingrays at Stingray City, and that was awesome. We saw all kinds of cool reef fish, and of course got up close and personal with those giant rays. But if we truly want to see something unique, something really bizarre, the best time to do that is at night. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get our dive gear ready, head out into the darkness of the sea, and get up close with some of the most alien-looking creatures you can imagine. Before we could make our descent, we had to swim away from shore out to deeper water. The visibility along the way was poor and churned up by the waves, making this process much more nerve-wracking than usual. Plunging into dark water is without question disorienting. And it isn't until you regain your visibility and bearings that your instincts to turn back retreat and allow you to press forward further into darkness. My eyes struggled to scan the empty space around me for a glimpse of anything. But just like that, we have our first visitor. Drawn in by my camera lights, I find these Caribbean reef squids stunning and very interesting to observe. Oddly enough, it actually might be as equally interested in me. They can be quite the characters and are extremely intelligent. It's mesmerizing how its bright coloration and translucent skin glimmer as it flutters its fins against the dark, inky water. Isn't it incredible how it can remain in perfect position with so little effort? Closely related to octopus and cuttlefish, these torpedo-shaped cephalopods have 10 appendages set in front of 2 very large, complex eyes. And while Caribbean reef squid are normally social creatures, seeing one all alone isn't that uncommon. Wow, they really are something. What an interesting creature to kick off tonight's dive. It's a surreal sensation to descend into the black abyss of the ocean at night. Some would argue this scenario would easily rank as their greatest fear, and I wouldn't necessarily blame them. Your first night dive can be scary. Luckily, our camera lights are strong and almost create a force field, literally pushing back the fear of the unknown and establishing the reality that exists in front of us. I learned long ago that a strong sense of curiosity can be the best defense against any fear. Curiosity, like our dive lights, can illuminate our minds to focus on what we can see instead of imagining what figments may exist beyond the shadows. And in this world, almost anything my light touches brings my curiosity to a boil. The weightlessness of diving, combined with this foreign landscape, feels like nothing less than a space odyssey. So in the spirit of worlds beyond our imagination, tonight, we are on the hunt for something truly bizarre, as I hope to encounter the aliens of the reef. Between the maze of shapes and spectrum of vivid colors that make up the coral reef, its inhabitants are equally as colorful and unusual. And as I get closer to the reef, many of the smaller creatures start to reveal themselves, like this arrow crab. As are most of its other crab cousins, this one is an opportunistic feeder, hunting for worms and other easy prey items. But if that doesn't look like an alien, I'm not sure what does. Okay, let's move on and see what we can find on the other side of the reef. Oh wow, so in complete contrast to the arrow crab, here we have a huge reef spider crab, also known as a channel clinging crab. This species of spider crab are commonly found in waters off of Florida, the Bahamas, and various Caribbean islands, but this one is by far the largest I've seen. We're currently at about 60 feet below the surface, but these crabs can actually be found, get this, in excess of 100 feet, a depth we don't often explore for marine life. But maybe we should search for some deep water creatures on a future dive. The walls of the reef are really impressive, covered in brightly colored sponges that tower up at steep angles, giving way to flatter coral beds. Wait, what was that? I heard a crunch, like some sort of popping sound. Whoa, that's what I heard. That grunt just smashed that smaller... Oh, and look at that, there's an octopus. Did you see it before it changed color? That's a Caribbean reef octopus, and a big one too. This is definitely the all-star creature of the night. Now they can be extremely difficult to find, but once spotted will flicker with color. And these color displays are remarkable. It's both attempting to blend in with the reef to camouflage itself, and just when I get close enough, does that. That is a defensive display. See it flash white and blue and balloon up to appear larger than it really is? It's incredible how adaptive these creatures are. Not only able to change color, but also able to change their shape and skin texture completely. Seeing these behaviors is very rare. This is actually the first time I've ever witnessed it. Now let's talk about danger. All octopus are venomous, including this one, and use their beaks to inject their prey with a toxic saliva that paralyzes them while they're consumed. However, unlike their smaller cousin, the blue ring octopus, this species does not have a lethal bite when it comes to humans. But besides their venomous ways and bizarre appearance, these animals are indeed strange. Having 3 hearts, 360-degree vision, and possessing inexplicable intelligence has some scientists suggesting that these creatures are indeed aliens from another world. In fact, there are few fossil records to suggest otherwise, but we'll save that debate for another video. Okay, well, our computers are telling us it's time to return back to the surface, but what an epic way to end our adventure. For more photos and videos of this dive, make sure to follow me on Instagram @RealMarkVins, and I do respond to questions, so make sure to comment and ask away. Wow, that was by far the biggest octopus I've personally ever seen out here in the Caribbean, and by far the biggest one we've ever featured on this channel, and it showed us all kinds of crazy displays. I mean, it changed color a dozen times. It went from blues to reds to oranges to stripes, and then it had those brilliant dominance displays where it ballooned up and tried to make itself look bigger on the reef. That was incredible. I cannot believe we just witnessed that. And how about that Caribbean reef squid? That's nothing to shake a stick at either. That was pretty awesome to see the bioluminescence cascading up and down its fins. And I hope everybody at home enjoyed tonight's night adventure just as much as we did. The crew and I are absolutely exhausted. We're gonna get this gear off and head back home for the evening. But if you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a second of the adventures ahead. There's a lot more coming up on Blue Wilderness. I'm Mark Vins. Be brave, stay wild. We'll see you on the next dive. While a person's first night dive can be a frightening ordeal, I have found that any journey through this mystical landscape will quickly replace feelings of fear with pure excitement. These days, whenever I have the chance to dive at night, I find myself jumping at the opportunity, literally, just as long as my light batteries are fully charged.
Woo! Look at that. And how many of you watching right now would love to be standing right here with me, appearing on the Brave Wilderness channel? Well, now it's your turn. For the first time ever, we're inviting anyone brave enough to join me and the crew on a real Brave Wilderness adventure starring you. Next year, we are leading groups at 2 of my favorite locations on the planet. Starting on the East Coast, we will explore majestic shorelines for intertidal wildlife at Acadia National Park. And then we'll head west to the desert mountains of Zion and search for a variety of interesting animals, including prehistoric relics from the past. Not an animal expert? Not a problem. There's gonna be something for everyone on these epic adventures. Over 3 unforgettable days, you'll also hike stunning trails, make lasting friendships, and learn the secrets of what it takes to make the world's most viral wildlife videos directly from me. Guys, space is super limited, so click the link in the description or follow this link here and be the first to find out how to snag a spot on one of these 2 adventures and see if you have what it takes to become brave. What's going on, guys? I'm here in Western Australia tide pooling, and I just caught the biggest octopus I have ever seen. You gotta see this.
See anything, Mark?
Scanning. Oh, there's an octopus right there. You see that?
Oh, where is it?
Right there, next to that white rock. Big one, big one. Do you see that? How do we get down? We get down over here. Let's go. Come on, guys. Huge octopus. All right, definitely gonna need a net. Let's approach slow so we don't spook it. How are we getting down? We have to go this way. Here we go.
Careful, Mark. These rocks are super sharp.
Careful, guys. Careful with the cameras. Oh my gosh, I hope it's still there. Here, there's a way down right here. Through here. There's a way around. This way, guys. This way. We're gonna get a little wet. It's right around this corner. We gotta cross. Oh. I just saw a really big octopus hunting in this tide pool. Hey, Andrew, here. Hold my GoPro. I'm gonna have to get in. We need both hands. Here we go, guys. It's right around here. It's right here. It's right here. There he is. Huge octopus. Huge. Holy cow. Huge. Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Holy sh**. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Look at the size of this octopus. All right, let's get back to shore. Oh my goodness. That is the biggest octopus I have ever seen. Wow! All right, let's move back where he can, he's sucking all over me. Huge, huge octopus. Wow! All right, let's move up, let's move up. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe how big this octopus is, guys. This is unbelievable. Here, I'm gonna set it down gently here. Keep an eye on that octopus. They can move on land. I haven't had to get gloves on. Octopus have beaks that not only are sharp, but they have venom.
Oh, Mark, be quick, he's getting away.
All right, I'm getting him, I got him. Okay, holy cow, guys. I'm gonna get it hydrated. I got to put gloves on because I don't want to take a bite from that. See that beak right down there?
Now, this isn't the only venomous octopus that we could run into out here in the tide pools of Australia. There are also blue ring octopus out here, and a single bite from one of those, that could be fatal.
Wow, it is so strong. It just grips to the rocks. Just being really gentle right now. Don't want to hurt the octopus. Look at that, cephalopod.
This is a star octopus, which is actually a new species. It used to be considered a common octopus, but it has just officially been named. I cannot believe we caught this one on camera. They're venomous and lethal to humans, but taking a bite from a beak of a creature this size, that would put me in a world of hurt.
This is one of the Mac Daddy finds that you could ever come across here in the tide pool. And I cannot believe this. This is the best octopus catch I've ever had. I'm so pumped, and we weren't even out today really filming. We were scouting this location, and we looked down off the cliff, and boom, we saw this octopus hunting in these shallow rock pools. Luckily, we brought our cameras with us. Oh my gosh, that is so awesome. Andrew, reach out and touch the octopus. What does it feel like?
It's so soft.
Whoa, did you see it just change color?
Whoa.
They are incredibly adaptable creatures. You can really see it changing color when I hold it here in the water.
It changes from light color to dark color, and that's because it's trying to blend in with its surroundings and confuse me while I'm holding it.
It has the ability to not only change its color, but also change its shape.
What's it feel like, Mark?
It is unbelievably gummy feeling. Definitely a little bit slimy. Those suckers are so sticky when they grab on, and it has the ability to like let go like that. I'm not dropping the octopus, it's dropping itself.
Octopus are also very intelligent, and it's going to try a bunch of different tactics out here to escape, including becoming slippery and blob-like, almost like turning itself into a ball of jello, which is gonna make it much harder for a predator to hold on to.
I'm just trying to give it support, and they can be out of water. They have the ability to walk on land, move from tide pool to tide pool, and we caught this one out hunting for crabs. Related, of course, to the snail, but looks nothing like the snails I'm used to seeing. Look at how well this octopus is keeping its shape too. Oh, and those suction cups. The suction that it has with its arms is really hard to believe. This cephalopod is so incredibly strong. Look at that octopus. One of the most bizarre life forms on the planet. Also, one of the most intelligent creatures.
In scientific experiments, they've actually been known to solve mazes, and they are master escape artists.
Look at that. Look at those eyes. Oh, what an alien. Cephalopods have complex eyes, and there's so much that we don't know about these creatures. One of my favorite movies lately has been The Octopus Teacher, and seeing this octopus just is like taking me back to that film and just how intelligent these creatures are. So we want to be extremely gentle. We have no idea what's happening right now in this octopus's life. What we do know is that it is not breeding, because a female that just recently laid eggs would never leave them behind. So because this one was out hunting, we know this octopus has not yet bred. And look at that. Are you able to get a shot of those suckers? Look at those. And it has the ability to just grip on. Like if I hold it right here on my arm, it'll sense the ability to grip. I can feel it like tense up when it wants to move. And then like in a second, it'll just go limp and slip away. I'm doing everything I can right now to be gentle and give this octopus support so you can see it.
Unfortunately, a lot of octopus that are caught here in Australia are actually harvested for food. But rest assured, this octopus is going right back where we found it.
Okay guys, even with gloves on, I'm trying not to take a bite from this octopus. They can pierce skin and gloves, but they are venomous. Look at that, it's undoing my watch. These creatures are so intelligent. Wow, look at that, look how strong it is. It's able to support all of its weight. Just gripping onto my watch and my wrist. I'm trying to give it support, but I also don't want to take a bite. Where's that mouth? Okay, and it can be out of the water for periods of time. I have continued to dunk the octopus. Oh my gosh, it's really on me. Hang on guys, I gotta adjust.
His beak is really close to your wrist.
Yeah, he's very close. It's really trying to get me. Look at that, it's got my watch. And then I'm supporting the weight of its body so we don't just leave it hanging, but this octopus is so incredibly strong. Like, it's almost like a constrictor. I'm trying to like get it off of me. Ah, come on buddy, come on. Come on. Oh my gosh, it's really on me guys, hang on. Do you hear that? Hear that suction popping? Ah, and it does kind of hurt. I won't lie, an octopus this size, those suckers on my skin, look at that. That does not feel good. Those suckers are really into me. You can see where they're like leaving behind suction marks. Wow, holy smokes. Okay, I gotta get it away from my wrist. That's making me nervous. All right, hang on guys. Let me get these off. Oh, one by one. Come on, buddy, come on. Come on, let go, let go. Come on. It is so strong, I'm trying to, oh, took my watch off, look at that. You wonder if octopuses are smart or not? This one literally just unlatched my watch. I'm not kidding, but look how powerful those suckers are. I am in awe of this creature. Not only are they incredibly intelligent, but they are lethal predators. And for anybody who thinks an octopus isn't very strong, look at my wrist. Just sucking onto my wrist right there with its suction cups on its arms. Look at that, I'm gonna have like raspberries for a while. But totally worth it to get hands on. But you wanna talk about the grand prize of any tide pool expedition? How about finding a giant octopus? Wow! All right, let's put it back. Woo! Look at that. And how many of you watching right now would love to be standing right here with me, appearing on the Brave Wilderness channel? Well, now it's your turn.
For the first time ever, we're inviting anyone brave enough to join me and the crew on a real Brave Wilderness adventure starring you. Next year, we are leading groups at 2 of my favorite locations on the planet. Starting on the East Coast, we will explore majestic shorelines for intertidal wildlife at Acadia National Park. And then we'll head west to the desert mountains of Zion and search for a variety of interesting animals, including prehistoric relics from the past. Not an animal expert? Not a problem. There's gonna be something for everyone on these epic adventures. Over 3 unforgettable days, you'll also hike stunning trails, make lasting friendships, and learn the secrets of what it takes to make the world's most viral wildlife videos directly from me. Guys, space is super limited, so click the link in the description or follow this link here and be the first to find out how to snag a spot on one of these 2 adventures and see if you have what it takes to become brave.
What I have here in front of me is a 3.5-foot electric eel, capable of producing an electric shock up to 860 volts, enough to take down a horse, let alone me. To put that in perspective, that's about 8 times the voltage that's in your household outlet. And I never stuck my finger in the outlet as a kid. I listened to my mom, but right now, I'm about to stick my hand in this tank to experience the shock of an electric eel. Can't tell, I am definitely nervous. This is easily the craziest thing I've ever done on the Brave Wilderness channel. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe how nervous I am right now. Ah, all right, here we go. Gonna go for a shock. Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Now, before you witness the results of my first electrocution, it's important to note that this electric eel is an educational ambassador for its species and was not harmed by shocking me. Please do not attempt to recreate what you're about to see. This experiment was filmed under the supervision of professionals.
Ah! Whoa! Woo-hoo-hoo! Wow! Holy smokes! Ooh, yeah, that you don't expect. You definitely do not expect that from a fish. Wow, holy mackerel. You see an animal like this and yeah, it looks strange, but you never in your life expect a fish to be able to shock you like that. Whoa, as soon as I made contact with the eel, it was like instant, oh my gosh. Whew. The good news is, my first shock with the electric eel is over. The bad news is, that's not my last shock of the day. This is just the beginning. Underneath that tarp, we have an absolutely monstrous electric eel, one that will dwarf the size of this one. And in case you're wondering, yes, size does matter when it comes to shocks in electric eels. But before we get to the ultimate shock, we need to understand a little bit more about what's going on inside the body of this animal that allows it to produce this tremendous amount of energy. In order to do that, I've invited my good friend Diana, physics girl, here today to put me through a few more shock experiments so we can learn a little bit more about what's going on in the electric eel. All right, let's go meet up with Diana. Oh boy, Diana. I'm usually so excited to see you. Why am I nervous right now?
I mean, usually I haven't brought one of these to our reunions.
Oh my gosh,
yeah.
what is this, speaking of?
Yeah, well, you wanted me to teach you about how shocking works, and so that's what we're gonna do with this thing here. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm just gonna turn this on. You're going to then touch it quickly, but as I turn it on, as it gets warmed up, you're gonna feel like a little tingling.
All right, hold up.
Yeah.
I have to touch this?
You're gonna have to touch it. Yeah, okay, ready?
Okay, go for it. Wait, why do you look nervous?
Because I hate this thing.
Okay.
I've experienced it.
All right.
Yeah, finger straight out toward that big metal sphere. Try your arm, try
my arm?
Yeah. Woo,
Whoa.
that was a big one.
Whoa, see my hair standing up? I think I can smell my hair burning, actually. Whoa.
How does that feel?
That's about as much as I can take. Now, you've got my attention. How does this relate to electric eels?
So what we're doing with this thing, this is called a Van de Graaff generator, and it's the perfect thing for understanding charge, because what happens here is a bunch of charges build up on this sphere, and then as soon as you bring your hand near it, they discharge, they actually travel through the air to your finger.
So that's like the little lightning bolt that I'm
Yeah.
seeing. Got it. So, okay, I think I understand now. So basically, this Van de Graaff globe represents an electrocyte in the eels.
Yeah, exactly. In the eel, they build up charge and then it discharges all at once, just like the spark from the Van de Graaff generator.
Got it. So it's like a chain reaction. So very much like a battery. And here's a cool fact. The first battery was actually invented by a gentleman named Volta, and he actually designed his first battery off of the inner workings of the electric eel. So without this animal, there would be no Duracell, and there certainly would not be a Tesla, which is pretty cool. Okay, so the eel, we couldn't measure the first shock, but we know they can be up to like 860 volts. How many volts was this?
This is about 350,000.
A what?
350,000 volts.
How am I standing here? Are you trying to kill me?
That's the difference between voltage and current.
Got it.
You need to know about both. So we've got one more experiment to learn about current.
Okay, so there's more shocks to come.
There's a lot more. Next experiment I've got, so this is a TENS unit. A lot of people are probably more familiar with this. So this is gonna give you some little pulses of electricity through your arm.
All right.
It is going through your skin and some of the tissues just below your skin. And now I'm gonna turn it on, and then I'm gonna go ahead and just bump it up little by little.
Okay.
You feel anything?
Nothing. Oh yeah, something's happening.
Yeah, you felt that?
Yeah, a little something.
What does it feel like?
It feels tingly. Yeah, I think I could take some.
How about-
Oh! I didn't do that.
Can we
I
go
mean-
up a little higher? We're at number 2, by the way.
How high does it go?
Out of 8. How are you feeling?
I think I can go to a 4. Let's try a 4.
Okay, we're gonna go up to a 3.
I'm not doing that, I swear.
I feel a little bad, but not that bad. We probably only got up to about 25 volts there. So
Really?
It's really, really low in comparison.
Oh, I would have guessed it was like 1,000,000 volts.
Nope,
Okay.
nope. But the thing is that there's more energy flowing, more charges flowing through here. Should we go higher than a 4? How do you feel about that?
Let it rip.
Okay, ready?
Yep.
Okay, here we go, up to as high as I can.
Ah! Okay. Tap out. Okay.
That was a 6.
Good.
That was
a 6.
That was a 6. But yeah, the biggest difference is that there's more current flowing.
Yeah.
And that's what's gonna get you because you've got more energy. Plus, it's not as fast. Like the eel, the Van de Graaff generator, like bam, you're done. This is continual.
Okay.
So yeah,
Okay.
current's what's gonna do you in.
I still need this hand for another eel shock. So we needed to find a way for everyone at home to see the shock from the eel, because like obviously right here, you could see that I was feeling the current. You could see the lightning bolt from the Van de Graaff, but you can't really see anything happening with the eel shock. How can we maybe visualize it.
Yeah, so we've got one more thing set up to be able to see there's actually electricity running through the water.
As it turns out, the electric eel isn't actually an eel at all. It is a species of knifefish that are more closely related to carp and catfish. But they are definitely electric. Their tail contains 3 electric organs that are each packed with thousands of cells called electrocytes. These cells act like a series of batteries, one stacked on top of another, and by moving electrons across their surface, they can produce shocks on demand. And I mean big shocks, and lots of them. So for this next experiment, we're going to harness all of that energy and turn it into visual fireworks that you can see.
Whoa,
Right,
what is this?
Come on in here. Okay, so this is a Tesla coil.
Okay.
Yeah, so you remember the spark from the Van de Graaff generator?
I sure do.
Much bigger on this one, and we are not gonna touch this one because the sparks are gonna be like 6 inches. This one's dangerous.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. I didn't bring this one. This was made, actually rigged up by my friends from Arc Attack.
Okay.
And this whole system was made by them. There's some probes in the water, in the tank. We will sense the electric shock from the eel through the water, and then it's directly connected to the Tesla coil. So we'll be able to see through the spark every single time the eel is shocking the water, or you.
Or me.
Or we'll see it, we'll hear it. It's gonna be really cool.
Well, this is perfect. Thank you for building this. Thank you to Architect for putting this together. I think all that's left to do now is to reveal the eel and fire this up. It's time for the grand finale, folks. You ready?
I'm ready.
Here we go. I'm so nervous. All right, ready, Diana?
I'm ready.
On 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, it's the whole tank.
Oh my gosh.
That eel is over 1 meter in length, over 1.5 feet longer than the eel this morning. And like I told you, size does matter when it comes to electric eels and their shock. Basically, the bigger the battery, the bigger the charge. Should we turn on the Tesla coil?
Yeah, let's hear it.
Oh! What?
That is all the eel.
That makes it so much worse.
Every single shock, that's all the eel. Oh, Mark.
I was so nervous earlier. This is making it way, way worse. Okay,
That is so cool, but I do not envy you.
here we go.
You may be wondering why this electric eel is producing electricity unprovoked. Well, there's a reason they have 3 electric organs. The sax organ pulses with a lower voltage shock, which is used like radar for electrocommunication and navigation throughout its environment. This is important since they live in the murky waters of South America and have extremely poor eyesight. Then there's the main and hunter's organs. These are the ones that produce those infamous high voltage shocks, which are used to stun their prey so they can be swallowed alive.
All right, here we go. Okay. All right. On 3, here we go. I'm Mark Vins, and this is getting shocked by a really big electric eel. 1, 2, 3. Nope. Got nervous, sorry.
This really sets the scene for you, Mark.
Sure does. Thanks, Diana. I love science. All right. That's the eel doing all this.
That's all the eel.
Okay, let me see if I can feel it. Oh,
You felt that?
Yeah.
That's cool.
I can tell you this, the eel this morning was not doing this.
Yeah.
This eel is feisty. This shock is gonna be bad. All right, here we go. This shock is gonna be really bad. All right, here comes the big shock. I'm Mark Vins, and this is getting shocked by a really big electric eel. Here goes nothing. 1, 2, oh, I can feel it in the water. 3. Oh! Yeah! Oh my gosh.
You okay, Mark?
Yeah. Hold on, give me a second. That really felt bad. Oh. Yeah, that was so much worse. That was a lot worse than this morning, holy smokes. Did you see the shock? I heard it.
Yeah.
Oh man, like, sorry, I'm trying to compose myself. Let me try to describe to you guys what I just went through. Obviously, I got shocked really bad, like holy cow. You could hear the Tesla coil, I think it might have exploded, I don't know. Before I could feel it, my legs were locked, I could, my abdomen locked up.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. Sorry, I'm trying to tell everybody what it was like.
Yeah.
Holy cow. Did we
mean,
break the Tesla coil?
I'm not sure.
I think it exploded.
That sound is like a horror movie. Like it was like a bzzz.
I could still feel it.
Yeah.
Like up and down.
Yeah, does it burn? Like what is it?
It's just like, I think it's just my nerves are just like
You were
freaking
just
out.
fully fired on that side of your body?
Yeah, it's definitely up
only
here.
on the one side?
Yeah, like this arm's fine, this arm,
Crazy.
and then up through here.
Oh my god.
Oh, dude, your ear's red.
Is it?
It's bright red.
Holy, look at that.
Yeah.
Bright red.
Is it? It
Yeah.
feels hot. That was the craziest thing I've ever done.
Yeah.
Lived to tell about it. Shocked by an electric eel. Diana, thank you so much.
Oh my god.
If you haven't checked out Physics Girl on YouTube, Diana does some pretty darn cool experiments. I highly recommend you subscribe to her channel. Big thanks to Architect. I hope I didn't break your Tesla coil. And thank you for watching this video. This is absolutely the craziest thing I've ever done, but hopefully you learned a lot today about electric eels and how crazy of an animal they truly are. I'm Mark Vins. Be brave. Stay wild. We'll see you on the next experiment.
Oh god.
Let's go. Woo! Look at that. And how many of you watching right now would love to be standing right here with me, appearing on the Brave Wilderness channel? Well, now it's your turn.
For the first time ever, we're inviting anyone brave enough to join me and the crew on a real Brave Wilderness adventure starring you. Next year, we are leading groups at 2 of my favorite locations on the planet. Starting on the East Coast, we will explore majestic shorelines for intertidal wildlife at Acadia National Park. And then we'll head west to the desert mountains of Zion and search for a variety of interesting animals, including prehistoric relics from the past. Not an animal expert? Not a problem. There's gonna be something for everyone on these epic adventures. Over 3 unforgettable days, you'll also hike stunning trails, make lasting friendships, and learn the secrets of what it takes to make the world's most viral wildlife videos directly from me. Guys, space is super limited, so click the link in the description or follow this link here and be the first to find out how to snag a spot on one of these 2 adventures and see if you have what it takes to become brave. All right, big day for Brave Wilderness. I'm about to attempt to film the real-life Godzilla on the shores of an active volcano in the middle of the Galapagos. But to do that, I will need to dive under those crashing waves if I want to get up close to the only lizard on the planet that navigates the ocean, the marine iguana. Hostile forces of nature. The famous words of Darwin describe the Galapagos perfectly, and that's exactly what we're up against. Filming marine iguanas in action means we will need to scuba dive through shark-filled waters, avoid ripping ocean currents, and brave relentless tidal surges that will throw us around like ragdolls. All right, so as we make our way to the intertidal zone, you can begin to see what we're going to contend with. As a scuba diver, if we get caught in these breakers, it could be game over, but it's what it's gonna take if we want to get up close to those iconic marine iguanas. All right, we have to dive deep quickly to avoid the current. All divers on today's mission are carrying emergency GPS beacons in case one of us gets pulled out to sea. It's critical we remain close together as we make our way toward the iguana feeding grounds. Visibility will change frequently, and there will be many twists and turns to navigate. The water here is very cold, only 68 degrees Fahrenheit. It's also high in nutrients, which attracts more than just iguanas. The Galapagos has one of the most biodiverse marine systems on the planet, making it a critical front line of conservation. But there's no time to waste. We need to save as much air as possible to film the iguanas. The surge will only get stronger the shallower we go. It's almost like the ocean is breathing.
push, calm, pull, push, calm, pull. This is the most turbulent water I have ever experienced, and it's making it hard to stay submerged. But surfacing now could roll us into the breaking waves, which would be very dangerous and potentially a life-threatening scenario. Only 50 yards from shore, this is where we need to be. And there it is, our first iguana. What you are looking at is one of the most specialized lizards on the planet, and the only one that spends time in the ocean. The marine iguana. If there were ever a living version of Godzilla, this is it. In fact, one of the common names for them on San Cristobal Island is the Godzilla iguana. Check out that scientific name. It turns out Godzilla is now a real animal. Filming these iguanas is going to be a real test. Luckily, the rocks down here are only covered in plants, so unlike coral, it's okay for us to carefully hold on with our gloves. But the surge is intense, making it nearly impossible to hold on when it rips through. Periods of calm will be our only chance to get close to the iguanas. But make no mistake, the surge will return. Luckily, the iguanas seem laser focused on feeding, almost ignoring our presence. Clearly, every bite counts when you're braving these conditions. Marine iguanas are herbivores that have adapted many specializations to help them survive at sea for the sole purpose of finding food. The rocks here are covered in a leafy marine salad that includes red and green algae, a favorite of the marine iguana, and one of the only reliable food sources for them in the Galapagos. To get it, they have to sometimes dive 60 feet and hold their breath for up to 30 minutes. They use their hooked, talon-like claws to grip onto the rocks, while their shortened snout allows them to get their teeth closer and into tight spaces to chomp away at the algae. So their Godzilla-like appearance does serve a survival purpose. Marine iguanas have also developed flattened tails that are muscular and help them swim through this hazardous environment. And as much as they need their swimming ability to dive into the ocean, it's the getting back to land when it really comes into play. Unlike us, the iguanas are able to swim right into the breakers and body surf their way back to land. Their ability to navigate the bone-crushing waves is unbelievable. But of course, they saved their final and most impressive adaptation for the shore. Because these iguanas feed on plants full of salt water, they have remarkably evolved glands that absorb the salt to be ejected by way of snot rockets, also called wigs. And while it seems gross, it's very efficient and just another unlikely demonstration of how these iguanas have solved the many problems to exist here in the Galapagos. Contrary to their name, marine iguanas spend most of their lives on land. The shores of Fernandina can be stacked with hundreds of basking lizards, and while only adult iguanas dive for food, you can spot subadults and juveniles foraging in the tide pools or just at the water's edge. Large male iguanas are very territorial and can be seen sparring or using head bobs to push off competing males from the rest of the breeding population. Before they branched off to explore the waters of the intertidal zone, marine iguanas started as a land-based species, only driven below the ocean surface due to what must have been an extreme lack of food. In fact, in the Galapagos today, there are 3 distinct species of iguana that are all descendants of a common land ancestor, one of which is the rarest lizard on the planet and the one that brought us to the Galapagos in the first place. The interconnection between land and sea is unmistakable in the Galapagos, and as an ambassador for Rewild.org, we are working together with the Galapagos National Park to ensure this marine reserve is expanded and remains protected for generations to come. There is no better example to the importance of these two worlds than the marine iguana, which is unique to the Galapagos and the only lizard on Earth that has adapted for life in the ocean. The fact they have evolved to survive these hostile forces of nature is truly incredible.
That was such a fun dive.
Woo! That was the coolest scuba diving I've ever done in my entire life. Took everything we had to stay in position and to roll with the surge back and forth. It was surreal. It was like living inside the cover of a National Geographic magazine.
If you enjoyed that episode, make sure to search for the Brave Wilderness channel on YouTube so you can join me and the crew on our upcoming adventures.